Hi everyone, very good evening. I welcome you all to SIEM Intelligence, one of the best institute with respect to IT information and information security and cyber security, right? So I am Vishnodhan Chandipatla. I am going to be the part of this particular session, and I am going to take this demonstration of Microsoft Security Operational List. That is, I can say SC-200. Globally, we know it's one of the most trending certification that everyone knows, right? So, what is this particular Microsoft security? What is Azure security? All those things that we are going to cover in today's session, and we are going to understand the scope of this particular sessions and how we are going to manage these things, right? So never late, we'll start just the sessions with a small understanding, right? So prior to going to this particular session, I just take a small, I'll take just a minute of time. I can say just I'm going to give you a small brief towards the organization, that is SIEM Intelligence, what is what and how we are going to take these particular sessions and all, right? So I welcome you all to SIEM Intelligence. SIEM Intelligence, one of the most leading blue teaming and SIEM training provided company, which offers wide range of courses and training related to cybersecurity. We are one of the fast growing online information security training portal, as well as a company based out of India, right? We deal with various kinds of security and information event management courses like SIEM, SOC, SOAR, and EDR kind of stuff, where we are just looking towards the security trainings. Not only this, we also do so many other trainings, but this particular deals with all of related to blue teaming, right? We are having highly skilled as well as very experienced. I can say it's one of the most praiseworthy that I am a part and parcel of this particular organization. Though I have completed almost 18 years of experience in this particular field. Right. So we have a highly skilled and experienced instructors who holding a wide range of accreditations. Like I am a CISA certified, ISO 27000 certified. I am also a cloud certified. I am a cloud security engineer. So like you can understand the way of approach towards our skills, right? And our organization is one of the most trusted and reliable training provider company in terms of cyber security as well as information security. We provide exceptional, unmatched hands-on practicals training to each individual as well as corporate across the globe. Our prime goal is to train, mentor, as well as support your career in your cyber security, right? So our prime motto is to make India more cyber power. So the concept of this particular organization is make our India more cyber power with respect to with respect to the world, right? So this is a small introduction about organization, and nevertheless, I'm going to just take a small intro about mine so that you can come to know what I am and what kind of the things that we are going to handle, right? So I'm a triple master. I did my MSc MBA and MSc IT operations and information security and forensics. I did my first graduation in Punjab Technical University. Everyone knows it's very famous in terms of in the name of PTU. I did my post graduation in 2007, and presently I'm undergoing. You can say I'm doing R&D with respect to cyber forensics and information security. Right. I'm holding more than 14 plus certifications. It includes CISA, ISO 27001, GDPR compliance, HIPAA compliance, and all other so many other certifications. Right. I'm also a curator architect. I do training sessions of curator architect. I'm also Azure certified expert. I have certifications of SC-200, AZ-500, and SC-300, SC-400 in my in my treasure, right? And I'm also a global CompTIA trainer as well as RFCA and event European Council certified, not certified trainer, but however I am a trainer towards EC Council too, right? So this is my a small intro about my so certifications. I hold more than 14 plus certifications in terms of information security. Rather than that, if I go towards my career, out of 18 years of my experience, I worked more than 5 years as a system and network administrator, where there is no scope of security, because during those days when I was talking about 2008 and 2012, it's something like very hazy period where people were looking towards information. There is no scope in that particular those days, but there was a very boom towards a network and system administration. Like people were crazy towards CCNA and CCNP kind of stuff, right? So I completed my network administration certifications too. Later, I realized that there's a very huge boom towards cybersecurity. So I became a cybersecurity coordinator and I'm an incident handler for a cert India as a for more than 2 years as a you know specialist towards cybersecurity. Then I become an operation expert for network logs and flow management, where I handle Splunk and QRadar. Then I become an operations manager for QRadar. Then later I moved on to cloud, where I deal with Azure Active Directory and Exchange Reporter Plus analysis by using Azure Defender. Later, I now am presently handling Microsoft Azure identity and defending towards the Active Directory for data center management unit. So this is a small brief towards my experience. You can say a small introduction of to my career, right? And I hope I do handling these kind of sessions in last year. I completed my 4 years of experience in terms of trainings too, where I have deal with so many certifications and so many courses, and I am very fond of taking sessions, and I'm really very crazy towards handling sessions, right? So, and even I do take sessions towards cloud security, Azure security concepts, in IBM QRadar implementation and administration, SOC concepts like analysis, operations and incident management. I do take CompTIA, Security Plus, Network Plus, and different SIEM solutions. So this is again, I'm telling these are the very few trainings that we are sharing. Other than that, we used to take so many other certifications too, right? So this is a small intro about me, and now we are going to talk about small understanding of Microsoft Security Operation Analyst. So let's say how I hope you people are more towards you people are more interested towards information security and cyber security, right? So let's say why we need to do Microsoft Security Operation Analyst course. First question comes, right? So this particular course, I can say this particular course will give you a huge scope how to handle Azure security platform, or you can say a cloud security platform, where you can do a monitoring, identifying, investigating, as well as respond to that particular suspicious activity. So, and also you can do a multi-cloud environment by using Microsoft Sentinel. Now, what is Sentinel and all that we are going to learn on a future aspects. So there are some terminologies we should know, something like a cloud security. Again, this is one of the trending topic in cybersecurity, cloud, right? So what is this cloud? How I can, manage this cloud? And see, we have a computer. We can say, we have a computer. We can say there is a virus. We have a mobile. We say there is a ransom. We say there is a script kidding, there is a blue jacking. As soon as we find something, Guys, we invented something, we always get, something like, attacks on that particular area, because during this particular development stage, we used to avoid so much of, discrepancy towards the security, to maintain the security, and we become some lenience to provide services, right? So that is, great a hole towards a hacker who wants to, or you can say threaten, or you can consider to be do some rob kind of things from that particular environment. Similarly, once this particular cloud came into the picture, right, there were so many attacks on cloud, and there was a necessity. They are understood that there was a necessity. We have to secure our cloud environment. So Microsoft put up a very good, this kind of thing. They played a very vital role in terms of cloud security, and they bring up multiple tools. Or we can say the very best tool is something like, Azure Defender, or also say we can say Office Defender, or the Office 365 Defender. So they again developed so many tools, but they come to know that there is a necessity. There is a necessity to keep all together, right? So we have so many tools like, people used to listen, right? Azure Defender, right? Azure Defender. Then people used to see, let's say, Microsoft Defender, Microsoft Office Defender. Then people listen Microsoft Office Defender for cloud, right? Then they said Defender for O365. Like they become, there are lot many, defenders come into the picture. There is a, Microsoft Windows Defender, right? So there was something like Azure Defender and Office Defender. What is the difference between these two? Even I have still doubt on this. Why these many defenders? Then again, this Azure, or you can say Microsoft, made a plan. Instead of having these many, different defenders. Basically, what is a defender? What is defender? Can anyone define? What is a defender? Can anyone define this? Okay. Defender is nothing which actually who defend basically who defend something. So in our case, we have infrastructure. What is infrastructure? Cloud infrastructure, that we consider as a IaaS, right? This particular infrastructure as a service. Similarly, we have a PaaS, platform as a service. We have a SaaS, software as a service. We even have so many other things that you can say IDaaS, identity as a service, right? We have so many things. Now we have to secure this, right? So for that, each and every, like infrastructure, we have a Defender Cloud, Azure Defender. Platform, we have a Defender Cloud. Software, again, we have a Defender Cloud. IDaaS is something like Defender for Identity. Microsoft Defender for Identity and Access Management. For Office 3, so we have an online Office, right? Microsoft Office. Now, whenever we talk about Office, we always think that a Word and all, right? So other than that, there are more than some 20 plus different services provided by Office 365 generally, right? Office 365 means it provides all the services of Office, right? Now we have to secure this because it is in cloud, right? So we have Office 365, Defender Office 365, O365 Defender, we consider. Again, because I am very, if I am very new to this particular world, right? It becomes very difficult for us, right, to remember these many, terminologies. I don't know about you people, but even when I started this understanding the concept of this Defender and all, I become very frustrated. What is Azure Defender? What is Microsoft Defender? Even I did not come to know. It was something like you can say it was something like black days for me when I was learn this particular cloud. I become very confused. Then they made everything clubbed and they made it something like a single product called Microsoft Defender. Simple. Then imagine I really enjoyed that particular word, a single word, Microsoft Defender. I become I almost you can say I become very free because I come to know that Microsoft Defender is something like one product which covers all these things. Like it has a capability to defend identity services. It has a capability to defend Office 365, identifying suspiciousness in a mail traffic, cloud traffic, infrastructure traffic, platform traffic. It is something like a Swiss knife. It become a Swiss knife. It become a Swiss knife, and I found there are some native SIEM solutions. Like you can say there is a native SIEM solution, that is Azure native SIEM solution. Native SIEM solution. What is that? This is one of the first cloud SIEM, that is we consider as the first. It's not a hybrid SIEM. It's exclusively cloud SIEM. That is we consider to be a Sentinel. Sentinel people used to call Microsoft Sentinel also. So again, they made Microsoft Defender. It is a very good sign, but it is not a SIEM. SIEM has a very heavy capability, like it can do correlation between multiple logs, whereas Defender can't do that. It can only give an alert to respective platform. It cannot compare with the other platform. Let's say I have an infrastructure, I have a platform service, I have an application service, I have a OS. So I'm getting all alerts of separately to Microsoft Defender service, but there is no correlation between this and this, which is not getting happened in this particular Microsoft Defender because it's not a correlation engine, because it is not a SIEM basically. So again, Microsoft thought, why I am not having this particular SIEM solution in the Defender directly? So what they did, they clubbed this particular SIEM solution also to Microsoft Defender. So now what happened? There were many Defender solutions which actually used to make so much of ruckus and make confusion in this particular Microsoft world. They made everything one and they made it as a Microsoft Defender. Now what happened? Even Microsoft simplified in such a fashion. Now they made everything, including SIEM. They made another product that is known as Defender XDR. Defender XDR. We are also known as Microsoft Defender XDR. Now they made a perfect clubbed solution. This is a Defender which can defend all your platforms like your SaaS, PaaS, IaaS, whatever that particular cloud services. All your security solution can be integrated to your Defender. Similarly, it is having now a SIEM solution so that you can do all that particular workbook processes, this particular correlation engine, threat intel integrations. All this is possible now in this particular SIEM area. Over and above, this particular SIEM, by default, Sentinel has a capability to even have a SOAR capabilities, right? What is SOAR now? Security orchestration and automated response. When there is a suspicious activity, known suspicious activity, or a common, or a you can say it's a repeated offensive or a suspicious activity for which I can write a automated response. So that let's say there is a guy called Rakesh who wants to meet me all the time. Whenever he wants to meet me, I used to give a chocolate, let's say. Now what happened? As soon as I made it in such a automated response so that as soon as Rakesh comes, he will get a chocolate. I do tell my, let's say, one of my, servant, I do tell whenever Rakesh comes, you give a chocolate. Now this time I instructed him. As soon as Rakesh comes, you just give it. I need not to tell. So as soon as Rakesh comes, he should get a one chocolate. So this is the instruction I have given, right? That is, I can write it in a SOAR. That is also known as the playbook management, where I can give instruction to do some, run some activities in order to, we can say contain, or you can do something like eradication or a recovery process. So we can give some playbook models so that it will get triggered as soon as some condition things. Now where the condition writes? In the thing that is known as correlation, right? Now we are doing a correlation, and which is triggering a playbook which is known as, automated response mechanism. So this entire process, if you see, the entire process is all about Microsoft XDR. Microsoft Defender XDR. I consider this is one of the most beautiful and very stable and the best product ever I have seen so far in the cloud. Right? So let's move on to this particular content. What we are going to learn. Sorry, I know this is something like, I took some small theory, a basic understanding of Microsoft XDR. However, I want to explain the things, right? So that you people should know what are the domains that we have in our SOC, analyst, this SC-200 global certification. So here we are going to talk about how to handle this particular threats by using Defender XDR. There is something known as Microsoft Purview, which is one of the most insider threat detection mechanism. And there is something called Microsoft Defender for Endpoint, which actually used to install in servers, endpoints like Windows, Linux, so that you will get the logs from there or a third-party application. Similarly, we have a cloud services. So we are collecting all these things. So now the same thing which we have, all the dot, now we are integrating all those things to this particular Sentinel, and which is by using, and we are going to write rules, correlation rules, by using a KQL, that is Kusto query language. So this is our domain where we are going to understand what is XDR, Purview, Endpoint, Cloud and all. Now if I go one by one, let's talk about an XDR. So we will discuss about what is actually Defender XDR, what are the capabilities of this particular XDR, what is 365 Defender, what is intra ID protection, where we are going to detect and handling of your identities, managing of your identities. If we, let's say there is a, in this particular environment, we are talking about all identities and identity management protection, right? Then we are going to talk about remedial risk with the related to Office 365. We'll take only use cases. We don't go for some theory kind of stuff. We always go with we always take something like theory kind, practical kind of approach, not theory. And how to safeguard your environment with an identity, the most important with respect to your access control list. So identity, creation of an identity with a default access control list actually leads to a serious and loophole towards your cloud visibility. So how to patch up those things, how to set up a baseline ACLs for this particular identity, right? And how to secure your cloud apps as well as services by using your Microsoft Defender cloud apps, that we are going to understand in particular. XDR, this is a module. I am telling this is a module of Microsoft Defender XDR capabilities, right? So this is actually a standard, because as these services are paid versions, right now I am not showing any direct that particular security.microsoft.com, which is a site, or you can say online tool where we can open and see. But it is very, it is something like, paid version, and we need to do some, how to set up our free version for a month and all that we are going to learn, because we are going to learn how to set up our Microsoft Defender account, free activation, all those things. And even we set up cloud activation. We'll learn how to identify cloud by using 30 days of free trial, how to use those things, and all that we are going to learn in this particular environment, right? Then, as I said, there is a service called Purview. Now, what is mean by Purview? Can anyone say what is mean by Purview? We can say the range of limit towards your authority, competence, responsibility, or concern. We can even say intention, or we can say, you can say vision, understanding, and cognizance. Right? We are going to understand towards Azure purview of your domain or your area. It's exclusively related to your data, where data owner, data custodian, data management, data encryption, right, and data security. We are going to talk about this data, how, and we will discuss about how to respond to a data loss prevention alerts. Now DLP, let's say there is a DLP alert come. Now we are going to understand the use cases of this in the Microsoft Office 365. Like, let's say DLP at rest, that means in cloud. Now at motion, in transaction, in use of memory. So we will see all these three statements, and we are going to discuss a DLP use case alerts to understand the purview concepts, right? We are also going to deal with insider risk of how to deal with your insider risk, and audit, how to investigate threats by audit feature of your standard as well as premium. There are two methods: Microsoft XDR, preview standard, and preview premium. Standard having a limited facilities, and here we have a deep dive audit logs which we can get, which will also get a file level and integrity level, that is also known as FIS, file integrity check level audit reports, that we are going to see in our premium, where the standard is not up to that. Okay. And we are also going to see the content search. So we have some content, so we want to do some identification of content and understanding some threats in that particular content, that we can do by using a Microsoft Purview. So this is how the look of a purview. As I said, all these looks like very same. The options and all, right? The options are same, but here, as I said, this is related to data, competence, responsibility, concern. We always talk about compliance score, data classification, data connectors, and auditing reports. Whereas, see, this is something else. We are talking about Defender services, where we are talking about incident, alerts, hunting, right? Threat analysis. And there is something of inventory of data, like vulnerability management, device inventory, software inventory, partners and API keys management, right? All those, and email and collaboration, that is again we comes to the Microsoft Defender, Office Defender, right? So thereafter, Microsoft Defender for endpoint, the most important and very famous, because still people are using with this particular services, because some of the services are still in a legacy mode. Microsoft Defender for endpoint is still in legacy mode, as well as along with the Defender XDR also, right? So now what is Defender endpoint? Let's say you have a computer, right? Let's say let's say is Ravindra, sorry. Ravinder. Sorry. Sorry. He is Ravinder. Okay. And there is something like, let's say there is a shake. Consider just. Now I want to monitor this activity as well as this guy because these two are in a same, you can say they are working for same organization. So we can monitor by placing Azure endpoint deployment, or you can say Defender endpoint agent. We also write AWA and AZA kind of. There is something like Azure workspace agent kind of thing is there. So we used to collect into a cloud defender environment area where we will understand different threats of an endpoint. We will deploy Microsoft Defender in the endpoint environment, like we will install in Windows, we will install in, let's say, Linux, we will install in, let's say, AWS, where I want to install in other cloud also. That is also possible by using API keys. We will see that, okay? And we implement Windows in security enhancements, like we have logs of Windows security, like we have a sign-in logs, we have an audit logs, we have an application logs, we have an auth log, we have a setup log, security log. So we are how to deal with that, how to implement enhanced security, how to get a trigger by using that, performing of device investigations by using endpoint, performance action devices, because Defender has a capability as it is an XDR, you can quarantine by using. That's why we have an option called device. See, there is an option called device inventory, right? I can manage your device. I can take a triage of this for the particular status. I can take a triage of this. So how to take and all that we will see in a session, right? That we are going to understand in our sessions. So and performing, evidence collection and entity management. So during this, you can see there is something known as hunting. You can see there is something known as hunting, right? So you can hunt for entities. Now, what is entity? What is entity? I'll take an example. Let's say I have, let's say there is a computer, okay, and there is a server. Now you want to access this. What you are doing basically? See, this is let's say this is Sunny who wants to access, let's say it is hacktivist web page. Now Sunny wants to, let's say from here, Sunny wants to access this. What is actually doing? What it's doing actually is actually requesting some page, right? And for this is responding. So basically you are doing an access mechanism here where Sunny is requesting some page where hacktivist web page is responding to that, right? The same thing, this logs we will understand over here, right? Similarly, what are the things that we can collect from endpoint? We have vulnerability management, attack surface, next gen protection, endpoint detection response, auto investigation and remediation, finally threat exports, that is by using a threat intelligence. So you can install all these in Windows, Mac, Android, iOS, and also applications kind of stuff, right? So this is one of the most beautiful area, I can say. Then similarly to cloud also, right? We have a cloud. We will understand what is the cloud workload using Defender for cloud, how much workload is there, how it is actually segregated your infrastructure is, and what is the performance of your cloud and all. Graphs and you can say performance graphs related to cloud that you will get. So you can manage it. You can understand, okay, this is the overloading area. This is the least usable area. These services are not up to the utilizable, right? Now we can understand all this because we can check the health of health of cloud, you can do it. Similarly, connect of Azure assets. So you have so many assets, right? You have an, let's say, you have a Azure, various Azure assets. Let's say you have an endpoint, you have a Linux machine, you have some VMware, some platforms, some web pages, some containers, some cubes. So you can manage all those things because you are getting so much of content and management and operationalize logs from those areas. Connect a non-Azure resource. Yes, you can integrate AWS logs. Let's say you have a S3 bucket, and this is a security general logs of Azure. This is Amazon Web Services Cloud, or let's say there is a tailgate in GCP, Who's platform. So you can collect these logs to your cloud, and you can also manage your security posture. You can manage your cloud security posture from here that we can see, right? So we can explain the expectations, protections, workload protection, workload expectations, what could be the possible thresholds of your workload, all those that we can manage from here. And any issues that you can do a remedial action for any security alert that we are going to understand how in your cloud, right? This is something like Azure cloud environment where you can see some security alert for which you can manage, like you can dismiss, you can change the low severity to high severity, you can come to know at what time this activity has started, what is the alert description. Similarly, as I said, right, there is a entity collection, what is the file name, what is the source IP, what is the destination IP, what is what kind of, and all those things, that identifying some file signatures, hashes, all these are known as entities, right? And the alert details, what the particular path is explaining, wants to explain, what kind of process is executed, what kind, on which machine the execution was happened, who is the username is actually involved in this particular alert, what is the user domain, what kind of file hash you detected, what kind of action taken. So now the action taken comes as a automated. You can do an automated or a manual implementation from here, which will remotely take an action against this particular security alert, right? This is most beautiful, while using these things, right? You will enjoy this, and you can also come to know this particular security alert is in which part of MITRE ATT&CK. Now question comes, what is MITRE ATT&CK? Right? What is MITRE ATT&CK? MITRE ATT&CK is a framework. It actually tells you are in which part of the security loophole, or on which part of organization the attacker focuses, on which phase the attacker is in. It will actually give you a great understanding. Okay, he is in the 4th stage of attack. He is on the 5th stage of attack. Now there are total 14 tactics that we can say. There are 14 tactics, or we can say 14 stages of an attack framework where attacker try to do all these activities. So we will discuss about this particular attack scenario 1 or 2 times so that you even come to know in this particular sessions, right? Then later, the last module, correlation of above, correlation of your cloud, your endpoint, your purview, your XDR. You will integrate all these things to a platform called LA. So you have a cloud, you have XDR, you have endpoint log, endpoint defender, and you have purview. You have these many areas of XDR which were integrating all these into a now LA. What is LA? LA is a platform which is also known as Log Analytics Workspace, right? Basically, it is a log analytics workspace, which is a base platform for Microsoft Sentinel. So this is the user interface and this is the background service. So you are collecting all these logs into LA, and Sentinel is calling this LA by using a language called KQL. Now what is KQL? We will learn what is KQL. KQL is a custom query language It's an open platform language, which is one of the most beautiful and easiest language. If anyone know what is the command of a grep, he can play Gusto query language easily. Because filter in a filter in a filter in a filter. See, this is the sum. I'm filtering. I got, let's say, sum minus 2. Right? I'm again filtering. What I'll get? Sum minus 2 minus 1. Again I'm filtering. What I'll get? Sum minus 2 minus 1. Let's say minus 5. Again filtering. So again it is sum minus 2 minus 1 minus 5 minus 1. Right? So I am getting, this is known as piping, or we can say filtered in a filtered in a filter. So let's say you have 100 cars. You have 100 cars. I want to first remove all blue cars. I come to know there are 50 blue cars. Now I want to do again a filter. I want to identify Maruti cars out of it, or you can say Suzuki cars. Let's say there are 15. Now out of it I want to pick up a hatchbacks. I found these 5. And I want to know which is having allies. This is the lastly one. This is what I brought it. Actually I bring out with 100 cars. I identified 50 blue. Out of that I identified 15 Suzuki. Out of that I identified 5 are hatchbacks. Out of that I identified one ally. So this is what I required. So this is known as, top to bottom filter, or we can say this is the method, top to bottom approach. So you have a global condition which you are filtering in a filtering, then you are identifying your required data. So this is how a KQL works. We will discuss. Now question comes, how we will discuss. So, as we used to say, the sessions are for 40 plus days, or you can say 35 hours of sessions. How will we manage that 30 days of free trial? We cannot manage this 30 days for 45 days, right? It is very difficult for us. It's not even possible. After 30 days, your account will be automatically deactivated. If you want to change, or you can say you want to take a professional license, it will cost you a lot. It will charge you something like thousands in per month. So it is very difficult for you to manage all those things, right? So how will you manage this? No problem. There is something known as Azure Data Explorer. This is the sample database to prepare or to practice your example, we can say, your KQL. So this is I will tell you how to set up this Azure Explorer for KQL practice. So we have so many statements. We have more than 300 plus statements. I am going to talk, and out of that I will give you cheat sheets where you can practice, like what is the meaning of, various things, like you can say what is get, what is equals, what is, where option, what is the meaning of, project away, project in, project, and where with the AND operation or operator, and you can say AND and OR operator both, and what is the meaning of summarizing, sorting, counting, and you can say there is something known as let's say time generated conditions. All those we are going to handle in this particular area, right? So even you can create a visualizations. You can create a visualization. Let's say there is a table. We have so much of tables are available here, right? So I want to call, let's say, I want to call some email, right? So I'm calling email condition, and I want to call last 10, or you can say I'm calling limit, let's say 20. Okay. Now I want to run this. Okay. So see, I got a content of last 20 contents, right? And out of that, let's say I don't want these many columns. I want only the subject. I don't want all this. No problem. I'll go top. Now I'm putting a filter like project only subject. Right? Now run. See, I'm going only one condition. Right? Let's say I want multiple columns. I don't want. Let's say I don't want this only one column. Let's say this link is I don't want. Let's say. No worry. Simply say project away. Project away. Link. I don't want this except that I want all this. I click. Except that I'm getting all. The link was gone. Let's say I don't want event time also. Comma. Event time. No problem. You just run it once again. See. And let's say I want only some specific things. I can manage, project. Let's say link event time and let's say subject. I will only these three. What? Link, event time and subject, because I don't want all this except subject, event time and link. No problem. See, I will get all this. Let's say I want time generated. Time, let's say where, okay, I forget to put where condition. Time generated. It's okay. I'm not having that particular thing, right? Okay. Okay. We'll do other things. Let's say summarize. Let's say summarize. Count by, let's say, link. Okay. I come to know, right? This particular link has these many counts. Let's say I want to see this render. I want to render this as a visualization. No problem. I can simply sort by count. Let's say, and let's say a render pie chart. Okay. It's taking some time. Sometimes actually it is actually revolving, right? So it will give you the response. It's taking some time, but it will give you the result. Okay, it page become unresponsive maybe because of huge data. It's okay. This requires some, sometimes, it is something like, because of huge data, because as it is a sample loss, right? Yeah, it got it, but it's a bit slow, right? This is known as, that means I went for a huge processing. This is not actually healthy statement, because I want to show you these things, right? But this is not a healthy statement. I have to render properly and give the result. Now, how to do those things? That you can practice over this particular area. Now, further, you have to learn KQL, right? We'll teach KQL in such a fashion you will never forget, right? So, this is all the scope, and we'll also learn what is Sentinel, how to implement Sentinel, what it means by data connectors, playing with data connector, integrating data logs, and working with Sentinel and KQL language. So this is entirely a process. In this particular, see, this is a Sentinel page. where you can do data collection, security analysis, playbooks, workbooks, management of your overview, logs, dashboards, everything that you can do here, and you can do correlation engine. You can write rules. You can write rules here. That is known as security analytics, where you can write a real-time rule that is also known as NRT rule. Then you can also write schedule rules. It's one of the most beautiful tool we are going to discuss very deeply into, deep dive into this particular. See, already there are some, hunting. So this is hunting here also there. The same link in that particular Azure Defender and this hunting, they both are having the same links. Here also you can do the same activity for which you have a basic idea of what was happening and what query it is running, for which how many results we are getting, on which log event we are getting, and we are also identify which tactics, so which part of attack execution it is. So like we have so many things that we are going to learn, and we'll even teach you how to enable a query, how to enable a NRT query, fusion rules, or you can say schedule rules, and you can write how to write a playbook, what is the capabilities of playbooks. All these we are going to discuss in our sessions, right? So now the question is something like, what is the standard of our sessions? So we used to take these sessions for 35 hours, 30 to 35 hours in general, but I am giving it at a max I can do take for 35 hours. And as I said, this is not, if you are learning all this in a day, right, you can't remember and you can't even easily digest this now. So what we plan is something like, we plan the sessions for weekday from 8 to 9 p.m. every day in Indian Standard Time, so that we are taking only 1 hour of session where I will teach you various portal capabilities. So Azure Defender portal capabilities we will do, and we will give you some use cases practice. So you will practice daily, and we will install the particular things. That means we will configure basically. We will configure all this particular Azure Defender, Microsoft Defender, and Sentinel. We will configure all this by activating Azure account. Azure account, right? We'll teach you how to do this, and we will teach you KQL, and like as I shown you just an example, like the same queries, how to build a query, high performance, and low pressured query. What's the difference between high performance and low pressure? Both are very same, right? So we are not giving any stress to the system, but we are identifying high performance query. So this is also a technique. I will teach you to tune a rule. I mean, while writing a query, there is a standard. You cannot write a query directly, right? So there is a process to write a query. I will teach you all those things in a KQL, right? So this is entirely 35 hours. So 8 to 9 IST every day, Monday to Friday. So we prepared this particular schedule in such a fashion, you will never forget this content, right? You will never forget this content, because see, our prime concern is to train you in such a fashion you will never forget. That's why we are taking all the sessions for 1 hour a week, 1 hour a day, 5 days per week, and we are giving 6th day and 7th day for practice. Again, come back, have a session Monday to Friday, learn the things, practice on Saturday, Sunday, and the practice going on. So once at the end of this particular 35 hours, you will become an expert of SC-200, and I can assure you that once you complete the sessions, you can easily crack SC-200 exam. So I will confidently say, once you complete this particular session with a proper practice of 35 hours, you will easily crack this exam in a one go. And for this, I will give you dumps. For SC-200, will give you dumps, right? Give you dumps, and these dumps will help you to understand how the sessions are, how the particular things are there, and will give you a practical approach, entirely practical approach. The practical approach is almost like 60%. So that means 60% of the sessions you will work on your product, only 40%. That means every day I'll take 15 minutes for your theory, the rest 45 minutes for your practice, basically, your practicals. So I do take only 15 minutes of time to make you people understand how the particular use case will be executed and what is the capability of your product. Then later we will directly go for a step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, step 7. Success. So we initiate a use case, we will complete and we will learn how this particular process was happened in our tool. So these things we are going to learn. So this is the entirely practical approach. 60, even I'm just claiming it is 60, even it is more than 60, it's almost, it will reach us to something like 70. Okay, 70% of the sessions will be only on practicals. Of course, without theory we cannot go ahead, because it's all of, you know, explanation of things. So I have to explain everything, but I will explain everything in a practical approach only. Okay, so I always use this particular Azure data model for your practical approach. Creation of workbooks I'll create here, because we have a capability here. We can create a dashboard, we have a home. I think it's still in responsive, because that particular I went for a very high, this particular has very high data. So we'll even teach you how to, and you can see it's still there, don't worry. So how to set up your own database for your practice sessions, and it will be always free. This is because this is sample logs, and it will be keep on update, and you will get so much of content to practice. So over the period of time, you will be the expert of a KQL, right? And without KQL, you can't play Azure. So everything Azure security rely on KQL only, because you will get some logs in some table. You have to call that. You have to do so much of filtering on the table to identify your data, right? So this is all about your Microsoft Azure Defender. So from my side, I have covered almost all the possible things that which we are going to plan. We have actually planned this particular session exclusively according to the global standard of your Microsoft. And we actually earlier we used to take Microsoft Sentinel separately. That was exclusively for 25 hours, and it was very beautiful. Now the people said, sir, we want to learn SC-200, because most of the people are interested to do certifications, right? SC-200, because it's a very trending certification now in the market, right? So no worry, we will teach you in such a fashion that you will come to know all these things in a very very streamlined pattern. It's not like I'm just explaining, you are not understanding it. It's not like, I will teach you in such a fashion that you will never forget this concept anymore. So I will go through exclusively towards it's all possible way to global certification model only, right? So anyone has any query related, and we do provide, I forget to tell, we will provide first some of the things, the most important things we will provide first, recordings. So like everyone used to say, but I can say here, the recordings are with even this particular pages. Even if I use for any rough charts, right, I will even create and I will take a screenshot. I used to throw that. Okay, so along with the rough charts even, and even we'll provide you the custom your documentation exclusively by SIEM Intelligence, which we prepared exclusively for the sake of trainees, and it's a very streamlined process. Along with people used to interest and they are used to ask, so I do provide even OEM documentation of this particular course. Entire OEM documentation I will share this particular OEM documentation. We will learn this particular data explorer. So data explorer related activation and Microsoft Defender activation process and Azure account activation process. This is not actually a sessions plan. Along with the side of session, even we'll do this, because this actually prerequisite. These are prerequisite, but People may know, may not know. That's why I'm adding all these things along with Azure subscription, free subscription, you can say, activation. We will do all these things and we'll learn basic concepts of what is Azure. So at least for first 2 to 3 days, I will explain about what is Azure, what is the capability Azure, how to create an account, all such things that I'm going to explain. Okay. And people can ask queries. Every day we do take a small query session at the end of the sessions, right? So if you have any queries, you can ask that particular time and we can easily make you people understand related to the previous session or any queries related to your work area and stuff, right? So this is all about our SC-200 course, and I am going to take these things in a very passionate mode, right? So I am very fond of doing all these things. So if you people have any queries, just let me know.
Hi Vishnu.
Hi Sunny, very good evening.
Good evening to you as well. How are you?
Yeah, it's doing good. We used to it's very good to see you in this particular session.
Yeah, same here. Vishnu, see, I have one query regarding the lab setup, right? So would we be getting the labs to practice the sessions and play around the KQL and all those things?
Exactly. So for that, there is a small prerequisites. You need to require to have a one small thing, that is one credit card, one mobile number. That's it. That's it.
Okay, so there are no charges, right? There won't be charges. It will be
they will. Yes, they will only they will only do some authorization charges, that is 2 rupees. That's it. For 1 month,
and other than this,
there's only for identifications.
I got it. So other than this, Vishnu, like the logs data ingestion, like how would you be we will be bringing the logs into the Sentinel itself?
Yes. Yeah. See, we used to create Azure account, right? As soon as we create an Azure account, we will create VMs. Okay.
Okay.
We will create a Microsoft security account also. We will create a Defender account also. So we will have so many different platforms in that. Everyone used to have its own subscription. So once we activate, we will have Office 365. We will create one mail there, mail logs. It will generate. We will send some mails to that particular Office 365, because the Office 365 free for 1 month. So you can create a mail. So I will send some malicious mail to that particular thing, so that it will trigger some logs there. So we will see a real-time scenarios only. Okay, and rather than that, I will run some queries. I have some, I'll show you. Sorry, there are some. See, there is some one batch file here, one batch file here. Like I have some batch files I set up in this environment, which actually create. I just open my machine, and if I double click that, it actually create users. It will delete users. It will create files. It will delete files. Basically, I created an automated script which actually creates what? Actually, it creates a continuous logs. Like my machine will go for a 100 users creation followed by 100 users deletion. What happens in this case? We generally get what? We will have so much of logins. Sorry, user creations followed by user deletions. This is generally a suspicious activity. Right? Automatically, if I install the agent in my machine, it will send the logs to my Microsoft Defender endpoint. There I will see so much of logs. So that's how I can create a logs. I can, let's say I will bring up some. Let's say I will show you some. Consider this is my downloads. You see here there are so many malwares. You can see there are some. It's a banking malware. I have some different malware. Even if I open here, right, this is a huge bunch of 3 GB, which consists of all malwares. Okay, which consists of all malware files, and there are some network dump. And this is dump samples. Okay, let's say I'll take an example. See, this is a malware basically, emotet malware. I'll run this in the where I install an agent, so it will automatically capture this environment. EDR related logs will be triggered. So like we will trigger a real time scenario which will generate a log, and we will see in a cloud. So that yes, when we got this kind of scenario, now how we will do the incident response for that. So what are the possibilities that we can do, and what are the administrative capabilities of Microsoft Defender? All those things we are going to learn. Okay, because first user interface understanding, then we will trigger some use cases, and we will create some conditions, and we will run some sample logs, and we will identify the data out of it. Now to create the sample logs and all, I have so much of sample logs here. You can see. See, there is a mechanism to push this log. I have log forwarders. I create those things in my environment. So I will push that. There's no problem with that. I can push all these logs to my cloud, and I will even tell you how to do those things. No worries. I will give you this particular batch files and all in the sessions while doing, because if I show these things in my session, what is the use? I have to give this particular content to you so that you will practice the same thing and create that particular scenario in your environment and practice. That is what we required, right? So our prime concern is to give a possible content to you people along with the use cases. So we will take, see, in a 35 sessions, I can say there will be something 12 sessions, or in such a fashion we'll go for a rigorous practice of use cases only. More than 20, no, I cannot assure you exactly 20, but at least a 15 use cases that we are going to learn, at least 3 into 5, right? Okay, 3 use cases for each product. A rigorous practice. Even I will tell you, practice this. I want the screenshots, because how do I confirm? How do I get a confirmation that you people have done a practice? So I do ask for a this particular, because we will give you a certification of practice, right? So for that we used to give you something like some sample practice. So for that we will ask you, you can say this is a kind of assignment submission. It's not a a very theory part. You have to do practice. You have to take a screenshot. Final output should be shared with us. That's it. There's nothing like. Okay. We will ask you to submit some submissions. Assignment submission, because it used to be something like 5 to 10 minutes of activate your practice, for which you will get some output, because it's a kind of CTF. Okay. But Azure Cloud CTF. I'll give you some statements. You have to follow that. You have to identify that, and you have to take the screenshot of that and send it to us, so that you are successfully completed that particular practice session. So this is how we practice. We make you people practice.
Okay, Vishnu, other than this, as we know, the Sentinel has capability of learning and responding, right? That there are some of the inbuilt rules like fusion rules, machine learning rules, right? So would we be seeing that those kind of use cases as well in this course? Because see, the exam would be revolving under those scenarios as well, right?
Could you please tell once again? I did not get that.
Yeah, I was saying that we know the Sentinel has capability of machine learning and all those things, and then responding, right? That's the reason we see inbuilt rules like fusion rules, machine learning rules, right? ML rules and fusion rules, right?
We used to see NRT rules, schedule rules, as well as fusion rules.
Yeah,
fusion rules inbuilt consist of dynamic rules. There is no ML rule.
Not ML rule, I would say there's a capability of machine learning, right? When we talk about user entity behavior analytics U-bar, right? That's a part of ML itself, right? It understands the user behavior and the response, right?
Exactly.
So that, yeah. So I'm saying that in this course, we would be able to see those kind of use cases as well, responding to those kind of alerts as well. Because on the official website of Microsoft itself, I was going through the SC-200 syllabus. Okay.
Yeah.
This is clearly mentioned over there, how many modules they are covering. And other than this, right, you didn't mention about your risk of, with your remediating risk with Microsoft Defender for Office 365, your Exchange Online protection. So because majority of questions would be coming from there as well.
Yeah, of course. See, these are the areas which we are saying, right? I have covered in this particular environment, right? Where Office 365 related. See, responding data loss prevention by using Office 365. This is a one use case I told, right? There we'll go and understand about multiple rules. Mail related, I said mail related. I sent a mail which consists of a malware which will trigger some alert with related to on click, that some social engineering attack if you do something like click based, delivery based. So you can come to know all this, right? So we will tell you what is meant by click, who clicked and who got delivered, who is not clicked. So we will see the scenario. Let's say I will send to two mails. One is clicked, one is only delivered. So we will sort that particular people by using some query. Only the clicked persons we can come to know. That means these people might be get infected because those people got clicked. Because
that's correct.
In Office 365, the capability is there. Who all are read that particular mail? Who all are only got delivery? So we can able to identify those things, right?
Delivered is fine, but other than this, Vishnu, there is a challenge in EOP itself that see, URL click is fine, but what about the attachments? We are not able to find who has opened the attachments, right?
See,
that is a one challenge.
Okay, very good question, Sunny. So in this regard, I would like to say, I would like to add on some beautiful content here. Let's say, I would like to say, I have given you a bike. And said, if you start the bike, I come to know. Okay. Now the question is something like you switched on the bike. I got an alarm because I have an inbuilt mechanism. As soon as you switched on, I come to. You said I have not I have not taken it anywhere, but I have just switched on. What's the meaning of it? Now it is the meaning of, let's say you were trying to open, right? That means you clicked means you are trying to open. Now the question comes, whenever there is a suspect, let's say this was clicked, that means it was attempt to open that attachment. We always assume the worst case when we have a possible chance of clicks. Okay. So in a security model, this is Fagan model. You might know when if any person assumes or any person feels that is also a crime. But we always consider if someone clicks, that means we consider that particular mission got compromised because we don't have any other options, right? At least we are getting some people are clicking. The details of clicks we are getting, right? So now we are assuming, yes, this is the possible chance of breach. So what we want to do is something like first we will contain that, we will sanitize, we will identify, okay, there is no malware, then we don't have any problem for that. So that is how we used to identify the scenarios. The incident response is always how we are going to if there is a possible chance of 0.1% doubt, right, we'll never leave those things.
No, that's correct. And other than the Vishnu, there is a Microsoft Defender for identity, right?
Yeah.
Some questions come from there as well.
See, the concern is something like we have a plan of action exclusively related to SC-200 global certification. Whatever I cover, let's say I'll bring out that also. Why there is a confusion? So I'll bring out that particular SC-200, right? Let's say
the only concern is Vishnu. See, to be honest with you, I'm just focusing on SC-200 certification, right? That is the reason I'm
okay. So now this is XDR protection. So there is an exclusively protection identity is Microsoft identity protection. So that I covered. Yeah, that is Enter ID, right? See, if you see here, I covered that.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm talking about Defender for identity, right?
Defender for identity, now that is all and part and parcel of your Defender itself, Microsoft Defender XDR.
Okay.
That's why I said exclusively. You might have not joined earlier. So I have given that there are so many things.
See, on the official syllabus, Vishnu, it's separately defined. Can you go back to the official curriculum of Microsoft?
This is what official curriculum, right? This exclusive the official curriculum.
Yeah, that's fine. Scroll down. Scroll down.
Yeah. This is the one, right? If I click this.
Yeah. Microsoft Defender for Identity. They are specifically mentioned above below that.
Okay.
Yeah, below this 365. Yeah, third one. Yeah, last one. Yeah. Safeguarding environment. Safeguarding your environment with Microsoft Defender for Identity.
Defender for Identity. You can see here, right? You can no worries. See, safeguarding environment with Microsoft Defender Identity by using ACLs and all that I said. How to set up, how to safeguard your environment. See, yeah, that's covered. I don't leave if there is a part and parcel of this particular syllabus, right? I'll not leave. See, because I bring out according to, see, this syllabus is exclusive global. This is a global certification. I cannot add, see, I can add something, but I cannot remove from this, right? Because I at the end of the day, I can only say that you people will get passed. How you people will get passed if I don't teach? This is what. So you people are coming for to complete the certifications, right? So to complete the certification, you have to know each and every part of this particular learning path. Then only you can come to know how you are going to. Of course, I will follow this only. You see, even this particular session, this content is an OEM content. That's how I'm going to give you is something like I bring out this. There are so much of even the clicks, how to do the things and all are available in this only. If you want to learn, you can sit and you can do it, but it is not possible for you because the explanation part is not there. That's why people are coming to us to teach, to learn the things, because this is the only, when I click here, you will get the only headings of this. The explanation part is not there. So further the instructor requirements is there, the use cases, the explanation part and all, right? For that purpose only we are here to explain all this content along with the use cases and explanation and practical approach, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So you will get all the
Defender. Yeah. Sorry. Other than this, Defender has capability of we can just take a remote access of a machine and find out what are the files have been downloaded, whatever we can do. I forgot the particular name. What's the name of that feature?
Triaging of a machine. Yeah. Triaging of a machine is what we can say.
I forgot. Yeah. There is some collecting of artifacts. I forgot. Yeah.
That is what called triaging is called. You can take a remote on machine. I mean, whatever you want. Let's say you are taking, let's say one folder content. You can take it. You can take a remote exclusively. You can put a, triage is a, combination of so many conditions. If you want to take a snapshot of that particular scenario, you can take a snapshot of processes, snapshot of memory, snapshot of your, this particular data persistent, everything that you can take it so that you can compare with the previous stage or a later stage. Okay, you can take a snapshot, that is a triage of your registry, so that you can compare with any changes, and then you want to compare. That's generally we used to say something like red chat comparison. We can say that there is a SIS internal tool is there, right? You might know.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So those things, the combination of all these things that we are going to see, you ask this scenario, we'll give you the scenario explanation in the session itself. You don't worry about that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is how we are generally planning our SC-200, because it's exclusively I follow the global certification content only. Even the beyond this particular syllabus is what is my experience. Okay. So with the certification, global syllabus, you may only come to know what is SC-200, but you cannot survive in the real-time world with that particular approach. So the use cases will give you a good content to survive in a practical world. Okay. So this is all about the plan of action. So join these particular sessions. Of course, I do say it's having a very passionate content. I do take exclusively with respect to as we discussed, everything is most of practicals. This I can say this is what the theory will give you the theory, because you can read the theory, but practical approach, the process is very difficult to understand. So we used to focus on practical approach. Once you know the practical approach, as soon as you saw a theory part, you can come to know, okay, this is very easy. So I already learned in a practical approach, so it's very easy for you. So you can implement same thing in a exam point of view also, right? So it's very easy now. So once you completed this, you will be successfully right. So this is what all about the SC-200 session, and I am really glad to be the part and parcel of this particular session, and I'm really enjoyed this particular session. I hope you people have also enjoyed. I know this is a bit lengthy. The session is a bit lengthy, but I hope it's a very healthy session. People are very uh, process approach. So I love the way you people are sunny, and really it's a great approach. We have so many queries, and people might wants to ask, but they used to forget, right? So thank you so much for this. And Jafar asked one question. Sorry to say, I forget to give this particular query answer. Does SIEM course is prerequisite for the? There is no prerequisite for SC-200. However, there is a small requirement of Azure knowledge. But anyway, that is also not a hurry. You can, once you join, we will start up with the very basics. So you can come to know the basics, and you can learn something known as AZ-900 on the way. Okay, that can be possible. No problems. Right. Thank you, Zafar. Thank you, Sunny, and all the team. It's really a great session for me to conduct, and it's really
Just one thing.
yeah, Sunny. Yeah, Sunny.
I think this Microsoft as for SC-200, they have added just new two topics for the certification. The one is using hunting mode in Microsoft 365 Defender, and the other one is using the advanced hunting mode in 365 Defender.
Okay. These are the previews, still in the preview stages there. So we can sort of that. We don't worry about that. I will take a look into it, and I will get into it. See, learning everything is a good aspect. I'm not claiming, but the preview is not at all a mandatory for the certification, but still is in a preview stage. I will show you. Don't worry. I will tell you what is the meaning of those things. What is the meaning of AI-based hunting, threat intelligence-based hunting, advanced hunting, and what is the difference between a scenario-based hunting as well as defender-based hunting? Because scenario-based hunting comes into your basically it comes over this particular correlation area, and general hunting comes over your defender because there is no correlation getting happens there, right? So we will discuss that. Don't worry, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is all about this particular session. Thank you so much, guys, and it's really beautiful for the day. Thank you. That's all for the day. Please join the sessions. Will start from 12th of this this month. From Monday onward, the sessions will be started. Do join, and you will enjoy. Of course, I can say. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.